Have you touched them, those dark hours, where the sky drips down like ink, ink, ink?
That was Antonia Schubert, reading her poem from the print you see now, Ephemeral. Please, wherever you are, sit back, relax, enjoy looking at Antonia's work and hearing what she has to say. Let's start with the hair one. Where did you get the idea?
I think I looked at a couple of artists. Then there was, I can't remember the artist, but a print of animals with text in it. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I had this poem that I didn't put to use anywhere. And I thought it might look well in a picture. So I tried that. This print is actually called Ephemeral. And the poem reads, you can't really read the poem there, so I'm just reading it out. Have you touched them, those dark hours, where the sky drips down like ink, ink, ink?
I didn't know that you'd written the poem yourself.
Yeah, it was in the form of a shaped like a water drop on the Word document, but then I never really thought it was that good in that form. So I tried to find a way to present it that would work better, and I think I did. I think it works well with the image. This print is a Japanese vinyl. I didn't have like any press or rollers or even the ink that you use for printing, because I did that back home in Germany. So I used acrylics and a sponge to dab on the paint, and then I just pressed paper on it and hoped for the best. I like the vintage look the uneven distribution of color creates.
I think if it was a plain black background, it wouldn't have worked as well.
And the outcome was very different for each print. I think I have like 20 or 30 prints, and they all look different. And that also creates like a different atmosphere in each.
What atmosphere do you think you got out of it in the end?
I think the atmosphere is one of a lot of calmness and introspection, and like what I try to achieve is the idea of pitch black night, and it's quiet and you're just standing there and observing that darkness. But as the title of this print says, it's ephemeral, so it's not consistent. It's not staying with the observer or with anyone who's in this situation. The elephant is a dry point on a copper plate, and I did that shortly after I read The Only Harmless Great Thing by Brooke Bolander. For this one, it was just experimentation with the process and just getting used to the dry point process, and I just enjoyed it. I just enjoyed doing it and getting to know that it's not all about your eyes. It's a lot to do with your touch while you do it, like with checking the roughness of the surface. And your eye can't actually notice what's going on, but your fingers do. So I think that was pretty fun, and that was like my main focus was more the process itself. And I really like the way the shading worked on this one.
You really sort of capture the texture of the elephant's skin really well. I think the medium that you're using with the scratching, did you say dry point?
Yes.
It's like the perfect medium to draw an elephant in almost.
Yeah, because of the wrinkled skin, isn't it? The process of dry point is actually pretty interesting because while you're doing it, you can't really see the image. So you're constantly checking with your fingers the roughness of the plate. And the more rough it is, the more intense will the color be on this area. And the more light the lines are, the less intense. So it's almost as if you're blind while doing it. It's really interesting, and the result is even more impressive when you actually can see it for the first time. I enjoy the delicate way you need to draw your lines for printmaking. I think that's pretty cool and just feels more natural to me than using paintbrushes. Why did I choose printmaking? Because I thought it might show me a different approach to art, and I think it actually did. I went into this thinking that it would be a lot of precision work and just a lot of work in general, but it turned out that the actual printing process of putting the plate onto the press and deciding like how to color it and stuff, that this process actually felt so much like play, and I had a lot of fun with it, and I didn't expect to have that much fun. And I feel like once you have your plates finished or like almost finished and you start the printing process, then it gets fun. You start to see your results. That's really interesting. And then you print something and then you decide to color the plate slightly different. For example, for the elephant, I did that in black, in brown, in blue. And each time you color the plate, you can decide how to rub the paint off again. So sometimes it almost looks like he's in a blue mist or something if I left more of the ink on the plate.
Next, we talked about 4 of Antonia's turtle prints. The one you see now stands on its own, so we talked about it briefly. And then we spent time talking about the following 3 as a collection together. It's almost like it actually gives the effect of being like a necklace someone might wear.
Oh,
where,
yeah.
Where there's like a stone underneath with a gradient in it, and there's some sort of carving or wireframe in it so that we see it as a turtle.
Yeah, I want a necklace like that now. Those 3 go together pretty well. I feel like it's almost as if like a turtle is swimming in clear water and then it changes, and in the end it almost looks like it's plastic bags or something. So I think it's interesting to see like how an environment that at the beginning looks pretty natural changes into something unnatural. And like when you keep thinking about it, and even with the idea of the necklace turtle at the beginning, that's what you this kind of turtle, like the first one, that's what you would think of when you go to an island where they have turtles and they promote turtle wildlife and stuff. And then the other 3 are more like the reality of how their life actually is. It takes a dark turn. For the first 2, I used multi-block, so I printed 2 or 3 blocks on top of each other to create like different shapes and different colors. And I like how those 3 almost seem to flow into each other. Like there's a turtle on the water, and then the water is getting more layered, and then it ends up in a turtle that's created by the method of chinkale, where you use tissue paper in your print.
What is it that draws you to making art, Antonia?
For me, it's always been either drawing or writing. So, and in the course I'm taking at uni at the moment, I do both, and they start to connect with each other. So it's always been part of me, I guess, and I can't imagine not doing anything like that, because I think I would feel a bit empty and not sure of what to do with my life if that wasn't there.